Okay, every single day, it really feels like we're all just standing on the shore, doesn't
Mm.
it? Watching this endless ocean of content just washing over us.
Absolutely. Nonstop.
New viral videos, trending topics, all these shiny new AI tools promising to change everything. It's just this constant kind of overwhelming tide. You feel it too, right? That
Oh,
pressure.
yeah. The pressure to keep up, to not get left behind. It's intense.
Well, welcome to the deep dive. We're here to help you, well, not just stay afloat and all that, but actually ride that wave.
The analogy.
Today, we're taking a really deep dive into this electrifying, super fast-paced world of social media, content creation, and, of course, AI.
Big topics. Crucial ones.
Our source material for this mission, it comes from an exclusive conversation with Neil Patel. I mean, a true titan in digital marketing, entrepreneurship. He was recently featured on Think Media.
Yeah, Neil always has some sharp insights.
So our mission today, it's to arm you with the 7 critical trends and, crucially, actionable insights for 2025 and, beyond.
Actionable is key.
Exactly. This isn't just about understanding what's happening. It's about giving you the practical wisdom to actually thrive. We're going to unpack these seismic shifts in algorithms, highlight the new opportunities emerging.
Which are popping up faster than ever.
Right, and make sure you're not just surviving, but actually, dominating this new digital landscape. So let's just jump right in and try to make sense of it all.
Okay, let's start with the scale. It's almost hard to wrap your head around the sheer volume of content we're dealing with. Neil Patel pointed this out. And it's really the foundational challenge.
Okay.
Roughly 4.6 billion pieces of content are created every single day.
Billion with a B.
Billion. Every day.
Yeah.
So think about it. In just 2 days, the world creates more content than there are people on the planet.
Wow.
And that's everything. Text, audio, images, video. It's a content deluge, really.
Yeah.
And it just fundamentally changes the game for anyone trying to get attention.
That number is just staggering. When you're dealing with that kind of scale, I mean, the old rules for algorithms, they just can't apply anymore, can they? Does it really kill that whole idea of follower count is king?
It absolutely does. That's one of the biggest shifts Neil identifies. Social media has, in a way, been democratized. Your follower count, it just doesn't dictate your reach like it used to. Algorithms now heavily prioritize immediate engagement on what they see as new content.
Okay, new content.
Right, so if a piece of content, short video, long video, whatever, gets a burst of engagement right when it drops, watch time, comments, likes, shares, it gets shown to more and more people. But if it doesn't hit those early metrics, it just dies off quickly. Doesn't matter how many followers you have.
So it's less about your existing loyal crew and way more about that instant, almost viral reaction.
Precisely.
But that brings up a tricky question, doesn't it? What does new content even mean now? Neil said high quality is just too subjective.
It really is.
And most topics, let's be honest, have been covered a million times. So how do you actually create something that feels new or even just interesting in this totally saturated space?
This is where Neil's concept of search everywhere optimization comes in. It's really powerful.
Search everywhere optimization. Okay.
So we all know SEO, right?
Yeah.
Search engine optimization usually means Google.
Right.
But Google, even though it's huge, now only accounts for about maybe 27% of daily searches.
Yeah.
Which is still massive, don't get me wrong, like 13.7 billion searches.
Still huge, yeah.
But the bigger picture shows this much broader search landscape. YouTube, over 50 billion daily searches globally.
50 billion.
Yeah. Instagram, 6.5 billion. Snapchat, 4 billion. Amazon, 3.5 million. Even newer things like ChatGPT are doing around 1 billion searches a day.
Wow. Good.
So new isn't always a totally original topic. Often it's about bringing something people are already interested in to a different platform or maybe a different format where it hasn't been done well yet.
That completely reframes how you think about discovery then. If Google's just one piece, I mean, where do you even start looking to figure out what people are searching for everywhere else?
Good question. Neil actually recommends a specific tool here, Answer the Public.
Answer the Public.
Yeah, it works kind of like Google Suggest, but it visually maps out recent user questions and those long-tail phrases people are actively searching for.
Interesting.
What's brilliant is how broad its application is. You can use it to spot trends for YouTube, Google, TikTok, Instagram. And it's especially good for Amazon if you're doing anything product-related. And a lot of the basic stuff is free, so it gives creators a real edge in finding those overlooked niches, those genuinely new angles.
An accessible tool for finding genuinely new stuff. That sounds like a lifesaver for creators.
Definitely.
Which leads perfectly into the first big trend Neil flagged for Winning Now. Platforms are actually prioritizing new creators more than ever.
This is huge.
So if you've been sitting there thinking, oh, it's too late for me to start, maybe think again.
You absolutely should. That whole idea, oh, I'm too late for YouTube or TikTok's already saturated, it's just a myth we need to bust.
Right.
Platforms are starving for amazing, engaging content that fills a gap, fills a void. Neil shared some great examples. Remember the longboarding guy drinking cranberry juice?
Oh, yeah, Fleetwood Mac. Classic.
Exactly. Or that girl who went viral looking for a very specific kind of husband.
Finance, 6'5", blue eyes.
Yes. I remember that.
Both got millions of views with basically no prior following. It wasn't about who they knew. It was just catchy, engaging, genuinely fresh content that hit a nerve. It really makes you think differently about what qualified means now, doesn't it? Like, just be interesting, find a gap. Easier said than done, maybe.
Sure.
But those examples prove it's possible. And that leads to this other fascinating idea. We're not just in social media anymore, but what Neil calls interest media.
Interest media. I like that.
The algorithms are zeroed in on genuine interest. And that's signaled not just by comments, likes, shares, but critically by watch time.
Watch time is king. In this new setup, making genuinely new and interesting stuff is way more effective for boosting watch time than trying any sort of engagement hack.
Makes sense.
And this feeds right into trend 2.
Yeah.
The new algorithm formula revolution. It's like a content audition almost.
An audition? How so?
Well, typically, the algorithm shows your content to a small test group first.
Okay.
If that group engages, mostly by watching as much as possible, but also commenting, liking, sharing, then boom, it gets pushed out to more and more people.
Right.
But the key metric isn't just if it gets engagement. It's whether its engagement numbers are better than the average video in its category, its niche.
Ah, better than average. Okay.
Because the platforms ultimately want sticky users.
Right.
People who stay longer. That's how they make more money.
So you got to outperform the competition in your specific lane. And if watch time is that critical, it logically points to trend 3. Video length is everything. But, and this is T, it has to be retention focused.
Exactly. Quality over quantity is absolutely paramount here.
So like padding a video just to make it longer is a bad idea?
Terrible idea. A tight 5-minute video where people watch most of it will almost always beat a rambling 10-minute video that's full of fluff and loses people halfway through.
Okay.
Now, longer videos, say 7, 15 minutes, especially over 10 minutes, can do really well on platforms like YouTube.
Right. You hear that a lot.
But only if you keep people watching the whole time. The focus has to be on retention. Neil actually suggests this clever tactic he calls subhooks.
Subhooks? What are those?
Basically mini hooks. Little attention grabbers at the start of each section or topic within a longer video. They keep the intrigue up and pull the viewer smoothly from one point to the next.
That's smart. Keep rehooking them throughout.
Exactly.
So what's the underlying force making platforms so good at figuring this stuff out now? It feels way more sophisticated than just keywords.
You nailed it. That brings us to trend 4. AI-powered recommendations are a total game changer.
Aye, of course.
It's at the very core of these advanced algorithms. AI now goes way beyond just understanding the words spoken, even if you don't provide subtitles or SRT files. It actually grasps context, nuance, meaning within the content.
Wow. So it understands the video.
To a significant degree, yes. And that leap in understanding leads to much better, much more personalized recommendations, which again keeps users on the platform longer and hugely increases the chance that your video gets discovered by the right audience who will actually engage with it.
Okay, so strategically then, how should creators approach making content today? Is it just about copying what's already popular?
Definitely not. Neil strongly advises against just replicating what's hot.
Okay, so what's the alternative?
Instead, successful creators should be proactively researching what's hot, but across different platforms. Look at Google, Bing, sure, but also ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude.
Right, the newer AI search tools too.
Exactly. And then specifically look for gaps. Find those popular concepts or topics on the older established platforms that haven't really been covered well, or maybe not at all, on the newer trending ones.
Ah, find the arbitrage opportunity, basically.
Precisely. That lets you create content that's highly relevant and genuinely new for a curious audience on that specific platform. You're filling a void.
That's a really powerful, actionable strategy for standing out. Okay, let's pivot a bit to something that feels, I don't know, more important than ever. Trust. Trend 5. Brand recognition trumps traffic volume.
This is a big one.
Neil explained how the whole rise of misinformation, he used the COVID vaccine debate as a kind of neutral, relatable example, has really pushed platforms to increasingly favor established brands.
That's right. Platforms have been really grappling with how to handle fake or misleading info, so their algorithms are now more likely to show content from brands people already recognize and presumably trust.
Like WebMD for health stuff or CNN for news.
Exactly. Because they're seen as generally more trustworthy, less likely to spread bad information. And this shift means that even small creators have to seriously think about building a real brand.
Okay, but if you're not a huge name like WebMD, how does a smaller creator actually build that kind of powerful, trustworthy brand? Especially now in this like hyper-competitive post-misinformation world.
It's a crucial question. Neil offers some really interesting points here. First, a stat. Roughly 1 in 3 Google searches is now for a specific brand name.
1 in 3. Wow.
Yeah. And interestingly, platforms aren't just looking for massive general brands. They increasingly want niche, authoritative brands. Specialists.
So being the go-to person for a specific thing.
Exactly. Because specialists are seen as providing more helpful, more accurate info. Plus, think about this. The average consumer now needs about 11.1 touch points with a brand before they become loyal.
11.1. That's up, isn't it?
It is. It was about 8.5 just a few years ago. In today's noisy world, building that trust just takes more consistent effort.
Okay, 11 touch points. That really drives home the need for a sustained approach. So what are the practical steps? How do you build that presence and loyalty?
Neil boils it down to 3 key actions. Things that sound simple but are often overlooked. First, consistency. Publish content regularly, but with real purpose. Consistent presence reinforces your brand when people have infinite choices.
Right, just showing up.
Second, repurpose and promote smartly. Don't just blast the same thing everywhere. Tailor your content for YouTube, for Instagram, for TikTok. Adapt it to maximize its native reach on each platform.
So strategic adaptation, not just copy-pasting.
Exactly. And third, maybe the most critical, active promotion. Spend more time promoting your content than you actually spend creating it.
More time promoting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Encourage shares, likes, feedback from your community. And crucially, engage back with them. Reciprocate. Use things like social media stories to actively drive traffic to your main content pieces. Promotion in 2025 isn't just a one-off broadcast. It's an ongoing conversation.
Wow, okay. Building a brand, actively promoting, clearly vital. But here's something that genuinely surprised me when I heard it. Trend 6. Podcasting is the underrated traffic channel.
Yes. This one's fascinating.
Tell us why. Why is podcasting such a massive opportunity right now?
The numbers alone are just incredibly compelling. Think about this. There are roughly, 1 billion blogs out there?
1 billion. That sounds right.
That's like 1 blog for every 7 or 8 people on Earth.
Yeah.
Now, compare that to podcasts. There are only about 4.5 million podcasts.
Only 4.5 million compared to 1 billion.
Exactly. That means there's just 1 podcast for every 1,000+ people. The sheer difference in competition is staggering. Podcasting is still a wide-open field by comparison.
That's a crazy difference. And the benefits go beyond just less competition, right? I've heard the audiences may be higher quality, monetization's better.
Absolutely. Podcasting tends to attract a more affluent audience average income, often $75,000 plus. It builds much stronger loyalty because, think about it, listeners are inviting your voice directly into their ears, often for long stretches.
Yeah, it's very intimate.
And the monetization. It can be way higher. We're talking RPMs, that's revenue per 1,000 listeners, of like $10 to $20 for niche video podcasts. Compare that to maybe $7.15 for YouTube Shorts.
15 cents versus 10 or $20, that's huge.
It's a monumental difference. Plus, unscripted, authentic, even vulnerable content tends to do exceptionally well in podcasts. It really humanizes creators in a way other formats struggle to match.
Okay, that's a really strong case for starting one. But lots of people get stuck, right? They think they need some totally unique angle or super expensive pro gear to even start. What's the real story there?
Neil just completely debunks those myths. You really don't need some earth-shattering, never-before-heard concept.
No.
The competition is still relatively low, especially when you consider that most podcasts sadly fail before they even hit 50 episodes, usually due to lack of consistency.
Consistency again.
Always. So there's plenty of room. If you're doing interviews, the key isn't a unique topic, but asking unique questions. Do your homework. Find out what guests haven't talked about before. Neil even suggested reaching out to their friends for insights.
Wow, that's digging deep.
Yeah, and the barrier to entry gear-wise, genuinely low. You can start with just your iPhone or get some simple portable wireless mics like the DJI mic. They're not that expensive.
So no need for a fancy studio right away.
Not at all. Neil himself said he's gotten more views on less polished, more authentic couch interviews than on some highly produced stuff, especially for longer conversations. Those big budgets you hear about, he says they're usually for global operations, translations, big agency clients, not for individual creators starting out.
It really sounds like being resourceful beats having huge resources, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Authenticity and consistency trump budget most times.
Okay, let's zoom out again.
What?
Look towards the future. Trend 7. Social commerce is the new front door. This sounds huge, like potentially changing how we shop entirely.
It is huge, and the predictions are mind-blowing. By 2030, the estimate is somewhere between $7 and $8 trillion will be spent annually through social commerce.
Trillion. Wow. Okay, define social commerce for us again quickly.
It just means seamless in-app buying. You see something you like on TikTok or Instagram, you tap, you buy without ever leaving the app. Think TikTok shop, Instagram shop.
Frictionless.
Totally frictionless. It's a fundamental shift away from using traditional search engines like Google as the first step to finding products. Neil even shared a story about his friend buying a carpet directly through TikTok shop.
A carpet on TikTok. Okay.
Right. Because it's so easy, conversion rates are much higher,
Right.
and we're just on the cusp of this massive boom in live stream selling to, think QVC, but interactive and on your phone.
Okay, that's a massive shift. Convenience and immersion really are becoming king. Finally, let's talk about AI again, but its realistic impact. Neil had an interesting take. It's currently overestimated short term, but drastically underestimated long term.
Yeah, this is a really nuanced but important point. Right now, in the short term, people tend to see AI as this kind of magic wand for fixing all their marketing problems.
Right, the hype is everywhere.
And that can lead to costly mistakes, like blindly trusting AI-generated A/B test results without applying real human oversight and statistical rigor.
Okay, so over-reliance now.
But paradoxically, people are drastically underestimating its long-term potential to fundamentally transform daily life. We're talking AI seamlessly woven into everything: home, cleaning, ordering groceries, sophisticated health monitoring, even personalized insurance plans. Its eventual impact will be far more pervasive, far deeper than most people are currently imagining.
So for business owners, leaders trying to navigate this, what's the right mindset? How should they approach AI?
The key advice is a crucial mindset shift. Think human plus AI. It's not about AI replacing people. It's about using AI to make human teams dramatically more efficient. Offload the repetitive, data-heavy tasks to the AI. That frees up humans to focus on the high-impact stuff, the creative work, the strategic thinking, the relationship-building things that require uniquely human skills and truly move the needle.
Human creativity, AI efficiency. Got it.
Exactly.
But how do teams actually stay on top of AI developments without getting totally overwhelmed? There's a new tool coming out, like, every 5 minutes.
Right. It's impossible to chase everything.
Yeah.
Neil recommends a really pragmatic internal approach. Don't try to adopt every shiny new AI tool.
Okay.
Instead, foster really strong internal knowledge sharing. He suggests having regular short team calls, maybe just 10 or 15 minutes a week, where small groups or individuals share and actually showcase practical, industry-specific ways they found to use AI effectively.
Peer-to-peer learning focused on practical application.
Exactly. That way, everyone learns organically how to integrate AI in ways that actually impact real business goals, real KPIs, rather than just using AI for the sake of it or feeling constant FOMO.
What a phenomenal deep dive we've had. Seriously, we've cut through so much noise today and explored these massive shifts.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in, but crucial.
From just the insane content overload and how the new algorithms prioritize newness and that immediate engagement.
The death of follower count is the main metric.
Right. To the critical importance of building a real brand, especially in this world struggling with trust.
And how niche authority matters there.
The huge underrated opportunities sitting there in podcasting.
Still wide open.
And then this explosive growth coming with social commerce.
By understanding these really profound trends and, more importantly, by thoughtfully adopting these actionable strategies Neil Patel shared, you, listening right now, are genuinely well-equipped, not just to navigate this stuff, but to really excel and innovate in this digital landscape that just keeps evolving.
So here's the final thought to leave you with. In a world where the sheer quantity of content is just exploding and AI is rapidly reshaping how we find and consume information, how will you leverage authenticity, use strategic insights like these, and build targeted engagement to create a connection that doesn't just stand out today, but truly endures in the years ahead? Something to ponder until our next deep dive.